Money that we got out of that $43 million. So it's gone a long, long way, and there's still money left over. So what is the POA? The POA is here to make sure that the residents get their fair share, that things aren't taken away from them. Like I said, 4 lawsuits and 2 wins. So we're not afraid to sue them if we have to. I don't know what else you want me to tell you about the POA. I mean, if you have specific questions, it would be easier for me to answer those.
100%. And of course, if you guys have questions, feel free to, you can use the chat. You can also just chime in and just ask questions. I know certain people might have some questions. One question I have is, okay, what's the, if there's something that is kind of looming on the horizon, like a major issue that you think is going to be the next battle, is there something like that that's out there at the moment?
Well, I'm getting a lot of complaints about underage children living in the villages, which happens to be an inside deed restriction, which only the developer can handle. And we used this very medium Zoom Tuesday night to have our board meeting, since we can't have a board meeting anymore. So we were talking about that, and we're gonna look into it. We might have to hire a lawyer and sue him over that, not enforcing his part of it. I don't know if you realize that there's a lawsuit that was filed about somebody that lives in District 8, which is Penny Camp, St. Charles, Buttonwood, that area down near 466A. And the gentleman had a white cross in his yard.
Yes.
And okay, well, that he hired a lawyer, and I guess his lawyer decided that our deed restrictions are pretty strong. So anyways, his lawyer is backed out. He has no lawyer. Our lawyer has said, district's lawyer has said that we can sue him. He owes like $5,200 in fines, and I guess they're going after him. Somehow they're having that kind of a board meeting, even though all board meetings are canceled, next Thursday for District 8. And I'm really kind of interested in see how that comes out, because that's going to determine a whole lot. If it's true that our deed restrictions in the villages are that strong, it changes the whole game plan. And then inside deed restrictions have to be followed just like outside deed restrictions, and it'll make the lawsuit a little bit easier. So it's going to determine the wave of the future, I think. This is really an important issue.
What have we seen in the past? There's periodically we'll see battles over, flamingos and giant.
Well, those are outside deed restrictions, okay? And they vary by district, so you guys have to know you sell in just about everywhere in the villages, probably even now south of 44, because lots of people are putting their houses up for sale down there. They were made a lot of promises that haven't been fulfilled yet. Number one, they still have no access to the rest of the villages. They still have no restaurants. They still have no shopping. So there's a lot of people that are unhappy. But every district's deed restrictions are different. And that's what makes it so tough. You can have ornaments in the historical side. You can have ornaments in District 1, which is off of Morris Boulevard. You can have ornaments in District 2, in part of District 3, but not in District 4 at all. And thereon, you're not allowed ornaments. But it's all complaint driven. So if you have an ornament and nobody complains, nothing happens about it. There needs to be a complaint filed. I'm not sure if there's an answer to that solution or to that problem, but lots of people don't like to file complaints, figuring they're going to make enemies of their neighbors. So there needs to be some investigation and work done on that. And we're always looking at those kind of things too.
And we've seen a lot of that with, signage over the years,
Correct. Well, and by the way, since I have you on the phone or on this Zoom, and you have some agents there, you know that no signs are allowed in District 4 anymore.
Yeah.
In February, District 4 supervisors passed a law that they choose to enforce the deed restrictions that say no signs are allowed. So I have tried to let our advertisers, you and Foxfire and the rest of the real estate people, know that they have to go. I am in a precarious situation because I am a District 4 supervisor also, besides being president of the POA. So it's important that you guys follow that. You can have a sign, but it's got to be 24 by 24 on the outside of a window, blah, blah, blah. So your people need to know that, because sooner or later they're going to start cracking down.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like the rest of the villages, basically.
Right. It's exactly. Now everybody's on the same playing field, actually. So.
Yeah. Makes sense. I mean, we may not like it, but it is what it is, and we just have to deal with it. So that's just part of it.
Yep.
So, okay. So one thing we've discussed in the past, and it's been a couple of years, actually, maybe, I think you were in maybe about a year ago, but we've got some people on the call and some people that might be watching this that don't know this. Why would somebody that lives in the villages join the POA, be a member? Because not everybody's a member. Right?
That's correct.
So
not everybody's a member, but we deliver the bulletin that we publish. We deliver to every driveway, 65,000 of them. Why should people join? Because, as I said before, the POA is the only organization that is going to go to bat for you if and when there's a problem. Now, when we talk about a problem, I'm not talking about Joe Blow that has an issue with his next door neighbor. That's a one-on-one issue that
you get those too, don't you?
Yeah, I do. I get them all the time that we really don't want to get involved in. But I'm talking about problems like underage children. I'm trying to think of some things. Off the top of my head, that's the only one I can think. Oh, there's issues like crackling eye ceilings that we had in houses, okay, that we went to bat for. As it turned out, nothing happened about it, but I will tell you something that did happen is the developer changed his building practices. Once he got south of 44, they were using 2x2s in the garage for trusses, and they went to 2x4. I mean, they were using 2x4s, they went to 2x6s. So you got a better constructed home. So, and I will honestly say we have not had one complaint south of 44 about crackling eyes or cracked ceilings in garages. So it did make a difference. So those are the kind of things, some of the things we do. We're always there for the residents, and we're always there to try and help the residents. What the POA tries to do is dispense information, truthful information. There's nothing ever published in our bulletin that is not 100% verified factual. We are not out there to put out rumors and spread lies. We want people to understand what it is. And lots of people don't understand deed restrictions. There's lots of issues, Glenn. As you know, you sell a house, someone new buys it from up north, they have no clue that they even have deed restrictions in most of the time. So we're always trying to let people know what they can and can't do. And that's why we have these different kinds of speakers at our monthly membership meetings, of which I'm kind of disappointed because you guys stopped coming. For a while there, you had somebody at almost every one of them for a long time. In the last two or three, nobody's.
You guys need to start attending that darn thing. Like I've pushed that, and you're right. I've got to get some people to actually go in there. So if you're watching this on our page, then or you watch this later, because we get some people that watch this like in the middle of the night because they don't have anything to do. Make sure that you look when things are up and running again, when the coronavirus allows people to meet in public safely. It's a great opportunity for people to network and find out what's going on and stay plugged in with what the POA is doing for sure. So I know where you meet, but tell everybody where you meet, what time, and all that.
Okay. Well, we meet on the odd months. We meet on the third Tuesday of every month at Laurel Manor. And then it gets a little complicated. On the even months, and in February and April, we meet at Eisenhower. And starting in June, we will be meeting on the third Tuesday of every month at Everglades. So for you guys, that's really kind of important because that's a brand new area where there are lots of people that are looking for real estate agents that want to sell their house that have been lied to by Property of the Villages or not given truthful information. Your agents that might have been in any of our meetings, usually 250 to 300 people at a meeting. At Laurel Manor, sometimes we have an overflow room, and we've had as many as 700 people. And I will tell you guys right now that November's the meeting, or October's the meeting you probably want to start. Hopefully we'll be having meetings in October, because the speaker will be Don Henderson from the hospital again, who we had to cancel, who was our March speaker. The last time he was there, we had 650 people and turned 250 people away because fire marshals wouldn't let anybody else in the building. So it's an opportunity for your agents to really make some headway. I will tell you, you have one of your competitors is there, and they're there every single month. And for a while, you guys were right there with them too. You're the only two that I let, as far as real estate agents, that I allow to come. Okay, so it's up to you guys. All you got to do is let me know you're coming. I only have 6 tables in the back, and I need to know. For a while, I had one reserved for realty execs every month, but then you guys stopped coming, so I figured maybe, I don't know, things change. I know agents leave, agents come, agents go. Maybe nobody wanted to do it, but somebody should think about doing it again. I really encourage that.
100%. Can you mention the cadence of meetings again, Cliff?
Yeah, it's on the odd months, it's always on the 3rd Tuesday of every month at Laurel Manor. On the even months of February and April, it's on the 4th Tuesday at Eisenhower. And in June, August, and October, it will be at Everglades on the 3rd Tuesday. Meetings start at 7 p.m. People start getting there at 6:15.
Yes, this is true. Yeah, I know. It's serious business. So, and we're not anticipating another meeting until October, is what you said, correct?
Well, I'm getting all kinds of mixed reviews because I get lots of emails from district staff, and I'm not really sure. I'm looking hopefully we'll be back in June. Okay. I'm hoping, okay. But if not June, I would think July if this thing ever starts to taper down. And I'm at their mercy because they've closed all their rec centers. I can't have a meeting until they let me back in the rec center. But as soon as they do, we're ready to go. And as soon as they do, we want to start publishing the bulletin again because, number one, it's a source of information. But we need something to put in it, and just to throw something on someone's driveway with nobody in it didn't make any sense. And it didn't make any sense for me to waste your money as an advertiser for a month that you really weren't going to get anything out of, because I'm not sure that business is real good right now for anybody. So.
Yeah. All right. So how does one, obviously you need to be a villager to be part of the POA. How does one join up? What's the fee? What do they need to do?
It's $10 a year. You can pay for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 10 years. Okay. You can go on our website and sign up. There's a form. You can fill it out, pay by credit card. It'll get mailed to us, or in every bulletin that we deliver, there is a form on the 3rd page that you can fill out and mail in with a check. And just another thing, we've always used, Glenn, paper membership cards. I'm in a process right now, especially in this downtime, of going to a plastic membership card that'll be a one-time issue with all kinds of information on it for those people. And every year when they renew, we'll just send them a sticker with the new date on it for the year that they are renewing for. So it was a good time. It's a bad time, but it's a good time to do things like that while we're not doing a whole lot.
Yeah, 100%. No doubt. No doubt. I have a funny question for you.
Sure.
So the craziest request or complaint that you ever got?
The craziest complaint I ever got. There were lots of bad particles in the sky, and I should do something about getting those out of the sky, even if we had to build something over the villages. And that's the God's honest truth. That's exactly what somebody wanted. My wife still chuckles about that one.
I knew you had some kind of, you had a response for that. I know you got stories.
Oh, in 5 years, I got lots of stories if I can remember. The older I get, the harder it is to remember the story.
That's great. That's great. All right. So anybody, any questions for Cliff? How can people find you, by the way, if they have questions, if they've got a client that lives in the villages, they want more info or whatever?
They can call me on the POA phone at 352-418-7372. They can send me an email, POA4 4YOU@gmail.com.
Phone number again?
418-7372. And I would say that your agent should give anybody that wants to call me that, but because you guys are who you are, I will give you my personal cell phone, and if they have a question, they can call me on my cell phone, because sometimes I'm not here to answer the POA phone, and I always have my cell phone with me. I answer that 24 hours a day, 7 days a week if I have to, and that's 352-250-2073. 352-250-2073. 2073.
So don't call Cliff after 3 o'clock in the morning.
Well, actually, I'm up. Usually I'm up because I do my best work at that time. It's really quiet in the house.
Between 3 and 5. That's the best time to call you.
Yeah.
I love it. Cliff, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. We'll have to do this again, Glenn, when things are really going. This is really a good idea. I like what you're doing. And if it gets out there to your people, it beats me trying to do the ones I did where I would come in for 4 or 5 or 6 agents. This way I probably can reach everybody that you got, because you can make sure that they all get this.
Yeah.
So,
well, and the other thing is that if you know anybody in the community that I need to interview that's actually very timely, that would be willing to talk and speak, let me know, please.
Okay. I have your cell phone. I will give you a call.
Sounds good, Cliff.
Okay. Thank you.
Take care. Thanks,
Bye-bye.
guys.
Thank you.
You're welcome.